All right, we'll get started. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. We have pretty cool announcements today. It's great to see such a good crowd here. My name is Ryan Rapp, Director of Communications for Brownells, joined here by Paul Levy, who's our product wizard, Director of Product Management, I think is his actual title. But as we get going here, we're going to watch a video here in a second. Once it's complete, Paul will have some additional information about some other products that aren't mentioned in the video. He'll talk a little bit, kind of recap what's going on with the video. For those of you who need and want press kits, Roy Hill, the giant red-headed guy back here, has press kits that have all the spec sheets and data. Also, at the end of the press conference, Paul will stick around and myself will stick around for questions. Just don't ask me tech questions. So with that, we have about a 4-minute video presentation, so direct your attention to the video screen, please. Thanks.
My friends, Brownells has done it again! Continuing their tribute to the iconic guns that have paved the way for today's modern serving. My name is Philip Labonte, and I know a thing or two about these guns. I'm a gun shop owner, I'm a former Marine, and I'm the vocalist for the metal band All That Remains. And unlike some of the soft hands in the entertainment industry, I'm not afraid to say that I love America and I love the freedoms that she guarantees. And that's why I am pumped to tell you about what is new and retro with my friends at Brownells. Between the late 1950s and mid-60s, Armalite made a name for itself, innovating what at the time seemed like space-age guns. A vast departure from the walnut and steel that everyone is so accustomed to. It was lit. The man responsible for that, no, the legend responsible for that, was Eugene Stoner. Now, Stoner, along with names like Sullivan and Miller, created works of art that were eventually adopted by all the branches of the U.S. military, police, and civilians alike. They've been utilized by heroic men and women to stop and deter evil across the globe and here at home. Put simply, Stoner and his men developed technologies that changed the world. In Brownell's 80th year in business, they're paying homage to a few more of Armalite's originals. And I gotta tell you, they're badass. So where do we start? Well, we start at the beginning. At number 1, AR-15 serial number 1. Never sold to the public, never adopted by the military, only a prototype. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Brownells BRN-PROTO. Its charging handle up top, 25-round straight magazine, authentic front sight post, rounded handcarved, brown furniture, all just like the original. The BRN-PROTO is like the relaunch of a sick old muscle car, just without the Bluetooth and the heated seats. But don't worry, you don't need a midlife crisis to get your hands on this piece of history. Brownells didn't stop there. They dug through some dusty old history books and are bringing back another classic. This one, you might say, is underappreciated, but it's one of the most influential firearm designs of the 20th century. The brass and the Pentagon even purchased a handful in 1964 for the evaluation before settling on the AR-15 M16 variant. But some argue that they chose wrong. Without its inspiration, gun aficionados wouldn't even have modern-day favorites like the SIG MCX, FN SCAR, or the HK416. But enough ado. The other latest addition to Brownell's classic lineup is a modernized version of the AR-180, the Brownells BRN-180. A variant of Stoner's AR-16, Arthur Miller perfected a short-stroke gas piston system with a Stoner-style bolt, and the AR-180 was born. Now, Brownell's version is a little different. It takes all the goodness of the original and gives it some modern upgrades. Now, you can fire it with the buttstock extended, or folded. Best of all, this kick-ass unit fits on any AR-15 mil-spec lower, no special tools or adapters required. So, whether you want to relive the 1970s SWAT show glory days, or do your best Terminator impression, the BRN-180 is a must-have for your collection. There you have it, the 2019 additions to the Brownells Retro Rifle lineup. 2 amazing pieces of firearm history. Join the Retro Revolution!
is pretty cool. Mounts to mil spec, lowers. Paul's going to go, or the BRN-180 mounts to mil spec, lowers. Paul go over that. This is the Proto, and I'm going to let Paul take it from here.
Hi everyone. Right here we have the BRN-PROTO. This is inspired by basically serial number 1 through 4, that range, where they had the original trigger-style charging handle, much like the AR-10 or our own BRN-10. So top charger. It has the BRN-10 or the AR-10 style furniture like the original prototype AR-15s. We redesigned or came up with a new front sight base, which is stylized like the original prototype front sight bases as well. And probably the biggest engineering task was creating a new magazine. So we recreated the 25 round magazine, never actually mass produced for this gun. So it's got 25 round 5.56 magazine. Again, this gun's 5.56, BRN-PROTO. It's going to be retailing for $12.99. So that's the BRN-PROTO right there. And I'll get out the 180.
I'll get it. I got it.
Okay. I've got an upper down there too. Okay. So here's the 180. So we had a lot of customers asking. We got the retro stuff, and they wanted to see a reproduction AR-180. That wasn't going to happen. The stamp, that's a lot of material to produce stamped. So we started asking ourselves, well, how do we actually bring something with that system to market? And how do we modernize basically the AR-180 platform? So we came up with the BRN-180 upper receiver. So when you purchase it, you get this full assembly right here. Fully self-contained. You have the bolt, carrier, recoil system all in there. Like you saw in the video, you can fold the stock. I'll take it apart here in a sec for more technical discussion. But AR-180 gas system, almost identical to the original, as well as the carrier and bolt. So when we set out to design this with PWS and FM products, we really had that mindset of how do we modernize what everybody wants now: full-length Picatinny rail, M-LOK, free float, all that good stuff. Modern materials and finishes. So all of the aluminum, matte black, hard anodized, the steel parts, nitride finish, of course. So you get robust materials and finishes. They are chambered in 223 Wild with a 1-in-8 twist, 16-inch barrel. So we also recreated the original 3-prong, and we stylized the charger handle as well as the ejection port in the theme of the AR-180. So that's the BRN-180 upper receiver. I'll show you real quick just on the gun itself, and then I'll take it apart. Do you want me to take it apart in this video, or that's maybe a bit more?
Yeah, and then show them optics too.
Okay, cool. I'll show it real quick with the stock folded.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's the folder. Obviously, all the recoil systems contained inside there, so really self-contained platform ready to go on any AR-15. So grab the optics real quick. So here we have the match precision optics, which are cabled nicely to the wall here. So with these, we went straight to the source in Japan. These are manufactured with Japanese components, quality control, all that good stuff. We spec'd it out really for the PRS shooter, that tactical type shooter in mind. We actually came up with our own proprietary reticle, which you can kind of see on the wall there. These are fully functional, so if you want to check them out later, you can see that reticle. We call it the NOMER, non-obscuring milling reticle. It is mill, so the adjustments as well as the reticle. And if you notice the reticle itself, the center post is actually separated, so at distance, you can actually see some of your target. It's not covered up by your center post. Also has that Christmas tree style reticle, so you can do your windage within the reticle itself. We have a 5-25 by 50, I'm sorry, 56, typo, and a 3-18 by 50 right here. So very popular configurations in both setups. So that's the match precision optics. Am I breaking up there? And then we have the retro optic over here. So it just so happens the Japanese manufacturer we sourced those from made the original Colt 4-power scope. So we said, oh, well, why don't we make another retro item? So right here we have the carry handle 4-power, get away from the speaker there, 4-power carry handle mount scope. So same configuration specs, but with modern materials. So you get nice, crisp glass. You get the same duplex style reticle, and then it has a ballistic turret just like the original, calibrated for 5.56 ammunition. That's mounted on a 605, which we announced back in December, which has a rifle length gas system, 15.5-inch barrel, pin and welded 3-prong flash hider. So that's pretty much everything new. We've got a few magazines as well. If you got a BRN-10, you may be happy to see we now have waffle magazines. So the very common customer request. waffle magazines. So these are going to be in stock shortly and shipping. The production versions will be a little bit more matte gray than that glossy finish.
All right. Again, everybody, thank you so much for coming. See Roy for press kits. Roy is back there if you need press kits, specs, all that stuff. Paul will stay here for questions. Come up, get photos, whatever you want. Again, thank you very much.